Once upon a time, in a beautiful village called Omoachara, there lived a young girl named Urenma. Urenma was not just any girl. She was known by everybody in the village, and there was something about her that made her different. Something that no one could ignore. Urenma had a striking beauty that always made people stop and stare without even realizing it. Her skin was smooth and dark like fresh palm oil, glowing softly under the sun. Her eyes were sharp and bright, always catching the attention of those around her. Her body was perfectly shaped, balanced as though someone had taken time to craft her with care. Whenever Urenma stepped out, something would happen. People would stop mid-conversation, forgetting what they were saying. Men would lose their focus and women would pause and whisper among themselves. "Ah, see beauty. She's too fine," another would add. Some even believed that Urenma was not ordinary, that there was something special about her. But Urenma's beauty was not just her only gift. Her father, Mr. Ekene, was one of the richest farmers in the village. His farm stretched far and wide as though it would never end. People came from far and wide to buy from him because his farm never lacked anything. Because of this, Urenma never lacked anything. Life was soft for her, easy and comfortable. Slowly, without realizing it, pride began to quietly take root in her heart. Many young men came to ask for her hand in marriage, hoping she would accept. But Urenma paid them no attention. One day, a young man named Ugochukwu came to ask for her hand in marriage. He stood before her father. "Sir, I came to ask for Urenma's hand in marriage," he said. Mr. Ekene smiled gently. "That is good, my son. Let me call her." Urenma came out slowly, walking with confidence. The man looked at her shyly, trying to gather his courage. "Urenma, I like you. I want to marry you," he said. Urenma looked at him from head to toe, examining him slowly before bursting into laughter. A small laugh, but sharp and painful. "You," she said, sounding surprised. Urenma shook her head slowly. "Go and look at yourself in the mirror first. You think I will marry someone like you?" The young man's face dropped in shame. "I'm sorry," he said quietly. Urenma waved her hand dismissively. "Please leave, don't waste my time." The young man walked away slowly, his shame following him like a shadow that refused to leave him. This was how it all started. But it did not stop. More men came, one after another. Some were farmers, some traders, and some were even wealthy in their own little way. But Urenma rejected them all without hesitation. Not just rejected, she spoke to them as though they were nothing, like they didn't matter at all. "You are too poor," she would say boldly. "You don't match me," she would add without caring. "Who even told you I can marry you?" she would ask, looking at them with pride. Some men left quietly, some with deep pain in their hearts, and others angrily insulted her back. But still, they kept coming. Because beauty like Urenma's was not easy to forget. Even women noticed her and spoke about her. One evening, a group of women sat together peeling vegetables and discussing the events of the day. "That girl, she will learn one day," she said slowly. Another nodded her head. "Too much pride is not good for anyone, no." But Urenma did not care about what people said. She walked past them that evening, holding her wrapper proudly and moving like a queen who owned everything. Someone even rushed to her to gift her. "Take this, my daughter," the woman said. "You are too beautiful." Urenma smiled proudly. "Thank you," she replied, enjoying the attention she was receiving. At home, her mother, Madam Ezinne, watched everything quietly. Without saying a word that night, she called Urenma and sat her down. "My daughter," her mother began softly, "beauty is good, but it is not everything in life." Urenma rolled her eyes slightly, showing she did not agree. "Mama, I know what I'm doing," she replied confidently. Her mother shook her head slowly. "No, you don't understand. A good husband is not all about looks or a fine body." Urenma stood up immediately. "Mama, please, I cannot marry just anybody. I know what I want." And she walked away without listening further. And her mother watched her leave, feeling disappointed and worried. But something else was happening at that same time. Not in the village where people could see, not in any place humans could go, but far away in a place where no human has ever visited before. A place of dark and silence. A group of spirits gathered together. They sat in a circle quietly, watching and listening. Then one of them spoke slowly. "That girl, Urenma," another answered. "Yes, the one that rejects every man that comes to her." A third spirit laughed softly. "She thinks no man is good for her." Silence fell in the place. Then one voice said slowly, "Let us give her what she deserves." Another spirit leaned forward with interest. "What do you mean?" The first one smiled, a cold and dangerous smile. "If no human is worthy of her," he paused briefly, "then let one of us go to her." The others nodded together. "Yes, yes, let her meet her match." Then they chose one among them, a powerful spirit, tall, charming and dangerous. "You will go," they told him. He stood up slowly. "What form will I take?" he asked. They smiled again, the kind she cannot resist. And that was how everything began to change. The next day in Umuachara started like every other day. Women were sweeping their compounds, men were heading to farms, and children were running around without care. Everything looked normal, but something unknown had already entered the village, and it happened quietly. A spirit entered the village in form of a man, a tall and handsome man. He has broad shoulders, neat beard, clean clothes that looked simple but very expensive. And the way he walked made people to notice him fast. Even the air around him felt different. As he passed, women adjusted their wrappers. Young girls stood and wished immediately for husbands like him. Even married women looked twice and then quickly faced front like nothing happened. His name was Fumi. By afternoon, everyone in the village had heard about him. They said he came from the city. Some said he is into big business. I heard he wants to buy land. He smells so nice. The news spread fast. Later that evening, Urenma stepped out for her usual walk and she walked slowly for people to notice her. Then suddenly, she saw Fumi standing under a tree, like he was waiting for someone. Their eyes met and immediately Urenma stopped walking. Fumi smiled, not too much, just enough. Then he walked towards her. "Good evening," he said. His voice was soft but strong. Urenma blinked. "Good evening," she replied. For a second, she forgot herself. Fumi looked at her carefully. "Wow," he said quietly. Fumi felt her heart beat faster. "No one told me there is someone like you in this village." Ure almost smiled but controlled herself. "People say many things," she replied. But inside her mind, she was already asking one question. Where has this man been all my life? But before Fumi could even say more, Urenma stretched her hand. "I'm Ure." Fumi took her hand gently. and Fumi. Their hair touched, and something passed between them, something strange and deep. They talked for a few minutes. "Where are you from? Why are you here?" Fumi answered smoothly. "I came from the city and I walked with lines and buildings. I heard this village is rich, so I came to see things myself." Urenma nodded. She did not even ask him question again. She did not care. All she knew was this man was different. Without thinking twice, she said, "Come to my house." Fumi smiled slightly. "I was hoping you would say that." When they got to the compound, something changed. Madam Ezine was sitting outside when they walked into the compound. Immediately she saw Fumi, her body went still, and immediately she felt a strange spirit presence. Urenma walked in happily. "Mama, this is Fumi." Madam Ezine forced a smile. "You are welcome." Fumi greeted respectfully. "Good evening, ma." His voice was calm. Mr. Kene came out after hearing voices. "Who is this?" Urenma smiled widely. "Papa, this is Fumi." The father looked at his daughter's face, then at Fumi, then back at his daughter. He did not need anyone to tell him his daughter had fallen in love, and he was very happy. "Welcome, my son," he said loudly. "You are free here." Fumi nodded. "Thank you, sir." They sat and talked. Fumi spoke well and he answered questions calmly. In fact, everything about him was too perfect. "I am into real estate," he explained. "I came to check land for development, maybe build something that can help the village." And immediately, Mr. Kene's eyes lit up. "That is good, very good." But Madam Ezine stayed quiet and was only watching. Later, Fumi voiced it out. "I would like to marry your daughter." Urenma looked down shyly, smiling. Her father almost laughed in joy, but her mother's heart dropped. After Fumi left that evening, Madam Ezine called Urenma and sat her down again. And with smiles in Urenma's face, she asked, "Mama, did you see him?" Her mother looked straight at her. "Where is he from?" Urenma paused. "He said city." "What part?" Urenma blinked. "I didn't ask." Her mother's face tightened. "You did not ask." Urenma waved her hand. "Mama, please, he is fine. He is everything I want." Madam Ezine leaned closer. "My daughter, something is not right." Urenma frowned. "Mama, what do you mean?" "The moment I saw him, my spirit was not at peace." Urenma stood up. "Mama, please, not everything is spiritual." Her mother's voice became firm. "Find out where he is from. Go there and ask questions." But Urenma shook her head. "I don't need all that." Because in her mind, she had already chosen. And somewhere far away, in a place where no one could see, voices whispered, "Yes, she has accepted." 1 month later, their wedding was fixed. On the day of the wedding, from morning, people started gathering. Men wore their best clothes, women tied their wrappers tightly. Young girls decorated themselves like it was their own wedding. Because this was not just anyhow wedding. This was Urenma's wedding, and the groom, that mysterious handsome man. Before midday, cars began to arrive. Not just cars, big and shining cars. People started murmuring, "Who is this man? Where did he come from? Ah, this is not small oh." Then his people came out, men and women dressed beautifully, smiling and talking, but if you looked closely, there was something strange about them. Their smiles stayed too long. Their eyes did not blink normally. But nobody noticed. Bundles of money were brought out, and they were spraying money like water. The whole place turned into celebration. Food was everywhere. Rice, soup, meat and drinks. People ate and still packed more to take home. Ah, I've not seen this kind of wedding before, someone shouted. Urenma sat there like a queen. She dressed beautifully, smiling, enjoying everything that was happening at the event. Girls surrounded her. Some were even touching her clothes. "Let her blessing touch me," one whispered. Another used her wrapper to wipe Urenma's hand, saying, "I tap from your favor." They did not know what they were tapping into. Mr. Kene was so proud. "My daughter has married well. Oh, thank you, Jesus," he told everyone that cared to listen. But Madam Ezinne, she was not smiling. She just sat quietly, watching, and her heart was beating slowly. That same feeling was still there. When the ceremony ended, people began to leave, but Urenma has already packed her bag and was waiting for the right time to go. Her father held her hand. "My daughter, go well." Urenma smiled. "Thank you, Papa." Her mother held her tightly. "Please," she whispered, "please be careful." Urenma pulled away gently. "Mama, I will be fine." But her mother's eyes were already filled with tears. Then it was time for them to go. Urenma entered one of the finest cars, and Fumi sat beside her. Then he closed the door. Outside, the villagers kept on waving. "Happy married life! Go well! Don't forget us oh!" Grace leaned back with smiles on her face. Then she said softly in her heart, "This is my new life." Fumi looked at her and then smiled. But this time, his smile was different. After the cars moved closer to the edge of the village, something happened. The wind changed. The air became cold. And immediately they crossed the boundary of Umuachara. They all disappeared. And immediately Grace found herself in the middle of a thick forest. She looked around, and the only thing she could see was trees, tall trees, and the sound of birds. Then suddenly she heard a sound from behind her. She turned slowly, and what she saw made her scream. She saw a tall creature that was dark in complexion, with horns, long nails, and its teeth like something that drains blood. Urenma's body shook. "No, no, no!" The creature smiled, and slowly it changed. Its body shifted, then its face moved, and in seconds it became Fumi. Urenma's eyes widened. "You?" she whispered, and she fainted immediately. After some hours, she opened her eyes slowly. Her head was heavy and her body felt too weak. For a moment, she did not understand where she was. Then she remembered the forest, the creature, and Fumi. She sat up quickly. "Fumi!" she shouted. Then she saw them, not one, not two, but many strange beings standing around her and watching her. Some had horns, some had long nails, and some had faces that did not look human at all. Urenma screamed, "Please don't hurt me!" One of them stepped forward, and slowly it changed back into Fumi. "You called me," he said calmly. Urenma became too scared. "You? Who are you?" They all laughed, a deep laugh, dry, the kind that makes your skin crawl. "Welcome to our kingdom," one of them said. Urenma's voice broke. "Please, my father is rich. He can give you anything. Just take me back." They laughed again. Ha 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 ha. And this time it was very loud. Then a voice spoke. "Take you back to where? This is your new world. No one was good enough for you. Do you remember?" Urenma shook her head, crying, "No, I didn't mean it." "But you said it," another spirit added. "You insulted men, you laughed at them, you called them nothing." They began to mimic her voice, mocking her. "You, go and look at yourself. I can never marry someone like you." Urenma covered her ears. "Stop, please." Fumi leaned closer. "So we came." Silence. "You wanted someone worthy." He smiled slowly. "Now you have us." Urenma burst into tears. "I am sorry, please. I didn't know." One of them snapped. "It's too late." They dragged her, pulling her to a tree, and then tied her to it. She struggled, she cried, begged, but nobody listened. After some days with no water and food, her body became weak. Her skin lost its shine and her beauty began to fade. One day, a man named Uzo, who was thrown into the evil forest by his community for a crime he knew nothing about, heard a voice. At first, he thought it was one of the forest spirits crying, but the voice kept calling, so he decided to see who it was. To his surprise, it was a human. The man quickly untied her, but she was very weak to speak, so he gave her some water, and after a little while, Urenma started to feel a bit better. As they talked, the spirits watched them from the trees, but they stayed quiet because they had already taught Urenma a lesson. Urenma told Uzo that she came from a rich family and she asked him to take her home. But Uzo has been in the evil forest for some time now, so he doesn't know where she went. But he promised to ask people for help on the way. And as they were leaving the forest, the spirits made strange sounds, but did not hurt them. When they came out of the forest to a place where humans can be seen, Uzo begged people for food because Urenma was very hungry. Then a kind woman gave them some food. After they ate, they continued their journey. As they were going, they were asking people for more help. And fortunately for them, they met a man who listened to their story. The man felt sorry for them and gave them enough money to reach Urenma's village. When they finally arrived, no one recognized Urenma. She looked different now. Her beautiful skin was covered in rashes and she seemed like a ghost of the girl she used to be. Immediately her mother saw her, she started crying, and she said, "I told you to be careful, but you wouldn't listen." Her father was angry, but he was happy to see his daughter. The village felt sad, and the young girls who had admired Urenma before were now unwishing what they wished before. The man who had helped Urenma was given a house and some land to start a farm by Urenma's father. Urenma's story became a great lesson to everyone. Not everything that shines is gold.